Hey geeks, it's Minx, and I wasn't planning on doing this at all, but prepare your tinfoil hats, kids, because X-Files is back. So, before I start doing the review of this first episode, I have to tell you, when I was a kid, X-Files was like everything, and I remember being a kid and like all of the episodes were like, oh, this is cool, this is entertaining, and then there was this one episode, and I don't know what it was about it, scared the shit out of me as a kid. So, being able to revisit the X-Files as an adult and see how the characters may or may not have changed um, was kind of a tantalizing subject. It actually premiered last night, and there's another episode tonight because it's not a full season. It's like an 8-episode miniseries, kind of like what they're doing with Agent Carter. So I figured, why not? I can do this. So I'm gonna try and keep up with it. But if I miss something, don't shoot me. Um, One of the first things that I thought was freaking amazing is after we get through the initial scenes, which include the beginnings of a flashback to actual Roswell, when the first, you know, spaceship crashes. And let me tell you, I felt really bad for that alien who was trying to crawl to safety. Um, it made me feel really bad, and aliens kind of creep me out, so that's saying something. They start in with the intro music, and it was the original intro with the FBI IDs, with their old pictures, um, and the song, and it even stopped with, the truth is out there. I about lost my shit. That was so awesome. And, everything was the same. The fonts were the same. It wasn't like a rehash. It literally looked like somebody had put in, recorded something on a frickin' VHS and then just transferred it over. It was awesome. I can't tell you how awesome that was for me to see that in a new version of something from my childhood, with the same actors, of course, but that was cool. Um, it pretty much is like a typical X-Files that has to do with, um, conspiracies and hiding stuff and, cover-ups and whatnot, only it looks like the overarching story arc from the show and the first movie, because we're not going to talk about the second movie because the second movie was stupid. Plus the fact it was totally a elongated monster of the week, which was just kind of um. So, but going with that, um, it seems like possibly that there is way more to the whole alien invasion. Oh my God, the aliens are coming. Oh, we're covering up the aliens thing, that it might actually go deeper than that, and that there is way more to that conspiracy. Like like it's a conspiracy on top of hiding another conspiracy. So I'm kind of digging this. I want to see where this goes tonight. So I'm super excited. Overall look, it is obviously like, oh God, what is it? What did they say? It was like 10 years after, set like 10 years after, they stopped. Um, because you gotta imagine they started this in 1993. Holy hell, I think I was like 10. Shh. Anyway, that was a long time ago. Um, Honestly, they seem kind of the same. They just honestly just look like older versions of their characters, which I'm happy about. I'm so glad that they didn't try and completely like cover up the aging. Mulder looks like kind of how you'd imagine he'd look like if he retired and, locked himself in a basement, checking the interwebs, for all sorts of conspiracy theories. Like, he looks like a hobo. I'm hoping they get him nice and clean shaven again at some point. Maybe see him in a suit, kind of like old spooky Mulder days. Um, Gillian Anderson, of course, Scully, everyone's favorite skeptic, um, is working as a surgeon helping these kids born without ears, which make them look like weird little alien heads. Kind of makes you wonder a little bit. Um, I wonder how, if that's actually going to tie in, or if it's just going to be one of those coincidences that make you think it's going to tie in. Would not surprise me. The show has done this to me many times. Gillian Anderson looks amazing. And it's not like, it doesn't really look like the fake amazing, because she's got the crow's feet and she's got some wrinkles, but it's very, she looks like she's aging more gracefully than David Duchovny. And I kind of like that. I kind of feel like it also kind of lends itself to the little bits of the story that are going on. Finding out that there's humans out there that have alien DNA mixed in with their DNA due to gene splicing and crazy experiments. Also to find out that a lot of the abductions that they studied weren't from aliens. It was actually the government, or governments, flying around in their own prototype alien ships, abducting people, doing experiments on them, impregnating women with half-alien babies, and then extracting them. Like, the fuck? Yeah, so it's great, like I said, it's a conspiracy that's on top of another conspiracy. It is a conspiracy covering up the actual conspiracy. Like, it's a crazy web of deceit. And doesn't surprise me one bit, because it has to do with, our government. I'm not sure how I feel about, Tad O'Malley. He is like a Bill O'Reilly-esque, journalist, who's really heavily into conspiracy theories, even though he's totally like a, conservative kiss-ass. And he wants to blow the lid off this thing. He totally buys it. He totally thinks the government is behind, like, everything, and that they're doing it to create fear on something so that when they actually act it out, they can get away with completely taking over the United States, and then after that the world, and utilize, like, you know, all sorts of sciencey shit. Right now I'm a little too tired to actually go into all the science stuff. But you know, like I said, I wonder where this trail is going to go. At the very end, they talk about the fact that Mulder and Scully were together, and now they're not, and that they have a kid together. But kid not there, so obviously, because of prior events and stuff. But that came up a lot. It came up a lot in conversation that, you know, in one way or another, that they used to be together. They're not together anymore. She tells him about the fact that she has found in her genome, because she mapped her genome, because she'd done, you know, tapped the vein, alien DNA, and she's like, I'm telling you this because, you know, we have a child together, you know, I have a son with you, or something like that. And it's like, why do they keep bringing that up? Like, are they trying to throw us off on something, or is that being brought up as some sort of foreshadowing that is not very good foreshadowing? Like, you know, are they going to get back together, reconcile? I don't know. Those two were always pretty volatile, so I'm looking forward to the next episode. I'm hoping that it is as cool and nostalgia-ridden as this one. I mean, they even had, you know, Skinner in there, so that's exciting. And at the very end, fucking Smoking Man! How is that asshole still alive? I mean, shit! He's been, like, pushed downstairs, blown up with a rocket. Like, fucker should be dead for all intents and purposes. I want to know if he has alien DNA going on in his shit. Because, seriously? What the... Seriously, his face is all ate up to shit. I can't tell if it's completely, like, burn scars, or if it's cancer, or a combination of both. You know the cancer's got to him, though, because he's still smoking. He's still very clear that the Smoking Man's still smoking, but he's smoking through a trach. You know? Like, literally, like, smoking through a trach. I'm like, that is fucking disgusting. Don't get me wrong, I used to be a smoker, but that was gross. That kind of grossed me out. The fact that Smoking Man is still smoking, but he's smoking through his neck instead of, like, his actual lips. It's fucking weird. But anyway, first episode, pretty good. I mean, it was pretty standard for X-Files. I'm excited to see where it goes, though, because, I mean, it's an 8 episode, I think it's 8 episode miniseries, like a mini season. So it makes me think of Agent Carter, because they're doing kind of the same thing. It looks like they have a similar budget going on as well. I'm excited to see it back. I mean, a huge part of my childhood again, so I'm looking forward to it. I want to see how this conspiracy plays out. I'm not much of a conspiracy theorist, but there are, I get amused by stuff that people come up with, so it'll be fun to see. Hopefully I'll catch it tonight. If not, I will be catching it on Fox.com because they do keep their episodes there. So if you liked this review, because we're going to say I'm going to give it probably a B because it's been a while. If you liked this review, click that little red box down there, wherever the hell it ends up being, that says subscribe, and subscribe to my channel. I also do reviews on Once Upon a Time, Agent Carter, and whatever else I can think of. I also do unboxings and trying to get my electronics to cooperate so I can actually do some Let's Plays, but we'll see how that goes. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Later, geeks!